from this handyman with kids.
Hi folks, today on America's Funniest Handyman, we're going to work on your vanity. But not in a sinful way, silly. We're going to DIY and learn how to change out a bathroom vanity faucet. I've worked on a lot of faucets and I've fixed a lot of leaks in my time. And today I'm going to give you my 5-step process for replacing a bathroom sink faucet without any leaks. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of pro tips, and we're probably going to have some fun along the way. So you've got yourself a leaker, do you? It's okay, it happens to everybody. I've got the same problem myself, and I'll bet you that my friend Denise Cranberry can give you 3 great reasons why you should replace your own bathroom vanity faucet.
That's right, Tommy. I sure can give you 3 great reasons to do it yourself. First and foremost, you and I both know it's been leaking for way too long already, causing you hundreds, perhaps even thousands of dollars in damages and lost water. And second of all, you have decided that you don't want to pay a ton of money to some plumbing company to do something that you know is just a little bit outside of your comfort zone. And third, if it's just the faucet that's leaking and you don't have trouble further back behind the wall, then actually changing a faucet is as simple as righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I always giggle when I say that because I have a sister named Lucy. That's one of the reasons I always remembered it so well. Well, she's not really left-handed, but she's a heck of a tightwad. I remember this one time Carl and I needed to get a down payment on the boat, and she...
Right on. Denise Cranberry, ladies and gentlemen, isn't she great? Denise and her husband Carl are both excellent mechanics, and you guys are super lucky because they're both here today as guest instructors of America's Funniest Handyman. Okay, congratulations on taking the initiative to replace your own faucet, dude. Actually, if you have a few decent wrenches and some patience, changing a bathroom faucet is relatively simple and a most excellent beginner project to start you on your plumbing path. Here's a few quick and important pro tips that'll help get you started and make this job a little easier. My faucet is a 3-piece setup, meaning 3 individual pieces that come together underneath the sink. You may have a single-piece setup where everything is self-contained within the unit. That's a little bit easier installation, but you'll be following the same guidelines. The next thing you want to do is limber up and prepare yourself for the fact that you're going to be working underneath the sink for the next few hours, which can really suck if you don't prepare your workspace and your body. I always say if you're going to be doing the same thing in the same spot for several hours, you might as well make yourself comfortable, like I've done here, with some old packing blankets and some extra padding. That's all. And you want to get everything out from underneath the sink, okay? There's a lot of old stuff back there that's going to get in your way. Just get everything out of there. I just cleaned out mine, and you wouldn't believe the kind of cool stuff I found.
Maybe you can't tell a joke, but when your stuff gets broke, what do? You give Tommy a call, whether it's large or small. There's no project he can't see through. Let's laugh and learn from this handyman with Kitty hold this by his side, fixing stuff in a serious way with a not so serious guy.
Next, the most important tool you want to have in your plumbing box today is patience. If you begin knowing ahead of time that you're probably going to have some trouble with some stiff nuts and some cracked pipes, then maybe you won't throw a temper tantrum every time something small goes wrong. I like to use this wedge as an example of patience because sometimes I have a lot of patience, and sometimes my patience has grown down to just a thread. I know at this point I'm either going to hurt myself or break something, and it's time to step away from the project. I always keep some extra in my toolbox.
Okay, thanks for joining us today, don't you know? If you like to laugh and learn along with America's Funniest Handyman, you might want to check out our YouTube channel and become a subscriber. You could click that button down in the corner and become a subscriber right now. Set yourself up for notifications. Then you'll get all of our videos as soon as they come out, and before you know it, you'll know how to fix everything around the house. Okay, I get the honor of introducing you guys to my husband, Carl. We've been together 32 years, and I love him a whole bunch, don't you know? But listen, he's a bit of a slow talker. So here at America's Funniest Handyman, we take the liberty to speed people like that up so that you don't get bored. Listen to all of his mouth breathing. It's enough for one woman, I tell you. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, my husband and sweetheart of 32 years, Carl Cranberry. Oh, here he comes right now. Whew. Goodness me.
The last thing I want you to keep in mind before you get cracking here today is that you're not a journeyman plumber, which means you probably don't have a truck or a garage full of pipe fittings. Knowing that ahead of time, you'll have patience when you have to take one, if not 2 or 3, trips to the hardware store. I remember this one time I had to go to 42 different stores to get this one little doohickey to fix this guy's thingamajigger. And then I got stuck on the expressway and, I'm sorry, there I go again. Denise is always telling me,
Carl Cranberry.
you're always digressing. All right, I'm going to stop. No more digression. Anywho, I can see that Tommy's prepared the work area with some packing blankets, and we're ready to start loosening things up. But first, we got to shut the water off. So let's take a few minutes and discuss how to do that, all right? You got to make sure that you got no water coming through these pipes when you get ready to change your faucet. Now, under every sink, almost all homeowners are going to have some sort of shutoff here. If the shutoffs haven't been used in a long time, sometimes they themselves can be worn out. And you'll find that out as soon as you try to cut off the water supply to the sink. I got lucky. Mine are in good working condition. However, if you have to replace these, sometimes those can be a little challenging. So you might have to look up another video on how to sweat fittings or call a plumber, you know? If these valves are failing you and they're still letting water come through, you could just shut the whole house down. And then you got to make sure that you drain it. If you're down below, you got to drain the upper floors. Anyhow, that's a pain in the butt. Hopefully, your under sink valves are working and you can just shut everything off there. Okay, now that we've got the water shut off and there's nothing coming out of our faucet up top, we're going to go ahead and take some wrenches and we're going to loosen the nuts down here that are holding everything together. I'll bring you inside and we'll take a look up and I'll show you how that's... Here we are under the sink. I'm going to point out a couple things for you, but I want you to keep in mind as you loosen things down here, the toughest things to get loose and tighten up are the things up top. So when you're loosening everything up, you'll want to start from the bottom and work your way up. And then when you get in the sink in, you want to start from the top and work your way down. Our water supply, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that first. Then I'm going to disconnect the bottom part of the faucet. Then I'm going to disconnect these nuts up here that hold the faucet onto the vanity. Okay, here we are. I want to show you a couple things I'm using. I'm using some open-end wrenches, a 7/8 and a 5/8. I recommend using the right size wrench. However, an adjustable will do just fine. I recommend using a good pair of channel locks during this process. It'll help you break some things loose, and it'll help you hold on to some of the pipes so that while you are loosening things, that you don't break nothing and flood the entire bathroom before your wife gets home.
Swing the hammer, turn the screw, cut the saw and stick the glue, shave the shim, clamp the vise, cut once, measure twice. Drill the hole and fill the hole, put the thingy in the hole. Be sure you're having fun, measure twice, cut once.
Well, that's got everything down here. Let's go up top and finish taking this sink right out of here. Okay, looks like we got it out. Time to clean this sink up. Time to go ahead and clean up this vanity top, and then we'll start getting... Alright, then we've got our faucet all removed. I used a plastic knife to scrape off all the old putty and clean it up with a Lysol wipe to make sure and get rid of the germs, don't you know? And now I'm getting ready to install the new faucet. But before I do that, I'm going to do something that a lot of men don't like to do. I don't know why it is that people of the male persuasion don't like to do this. I do, though. I like to read the directions before I go ahead and install something. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've installed a lot of sinks. But they're all different, and you never know when in the directions themselves, they might give you a helpful tip for installing this exact sink. There might be a little trick to it. So this is what it looks like when a real man goes ahead and reads the directions. Okay, now that I've read the directions and I'm ready to go ahead and install this puppy, I'm going to go ahead and take everything out, get it set up, and then I'm going to show you what we're doing before I go ahead and start tightening down your nuts. Now I'm getting ready to attach the water supplies because you always want to attach as many things as you can before you get below the sink. So if I can attach a few things now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Incidentally, you're probably going to have to make an extra trip to the hardware store to get yourself a couple of these bad boys.
This is all going to get connected. These two guys are going to go here, and this single guy's going to go there after we get everything installed. And this guy right here, this guy sits above the vanity top, and these are the pieces that go ahead and hold it in. We're going to back these screws out like that. Then we're going to go ahead and thread that in as tight as we can get it hand tight, and then these screws right here will tighten those up, and that'll make it real nice and tight. All right? Okay. I'm not going to show you every single thing because, like I said,
you should have read the directions.
Now this little guy here, this is the one that always gives everybody a whole bunch of trouble. I already got it together so you can see what it looks like.
But if you take a good look at that, it's a weird horseshoe-shaped washer, basically. And this goes on, and then this comes up and holds it in place. And you go ahead and hold it in place with this little weird long nut right here. It's got a slot in it for a screwdriver so that once you get it up there, you can tighten it. Isn't that cool? Now that we've got all these things ready to go, these guys are ready. I've got my water supply already attached. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bead of silicone right around the base of this so that when it sits down, it's not going to take, if you leak water onto the sink top, it's not going to drop water down below. Some people will use plumber's putty. I myself am a big fan of silicone. Either one will work, whatever you got in your plumber's box.
Swing the hammer, turn the screw, cut the saw and stick the glue, shave the shim, clean the vise, cut once, measure twice. Drill the hole and fill the hole.
Well, all right then. Step number 4 and step number 5 are both completed. That is, step number 4, we went ahead and we tightened up all the fittings. And then step number 5 was we went ahead and we turned on the water supply to check to see if we had any leaks. Luckily, today we didn't have any leaks. But if you do have leaks, I recommend something like either like a silicone or something better even is this brush-on blue. I love this stuff. It's like a blue compound that you can add to threads and just take everything apart, dry it out, add this stuff, put it back together. Guarantee you won't have any leaks. But that's it. Hey, Carl, is this your Teflon tape that I found out there on the ground in the driveway? Carl? 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 I know where he is. All right, looks like he did a beautiful job. He even cleaned up after himself. He wiped everything down. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us to learn how to put in a brand new faucet. Next time you join us for plumbing, we'll be learning how to do a drain or maybe even a toilet. As always, thanks for letting us bring a whole lot of experience and a little bit of humor onto your job site.
Fixing stuff in a serious way, but not so serious guy.